Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back with another Christmas decor video for you today from my I Love Christmas series. This is video number 14. We're still just plugging along. I know it's like a couple of weeks before Christmas, but I'm still cranking out these ideals and I'm just loving them. So I have two for you today. That's all I had time for. So let's get into it. I'm going to be using some of this nautical rope. I have fabric of choice. That fabric came from Dollar Tree. Car chamois from Dollar Tree. This birthday tiara is Dollar Tree. These puffy pom-poms are Dollar Tree. My carrots, Dollar Tree. Some greenery picks from my stash. Berries are from Dollar Tree from my stash also. I'll be using ribbon of choice. And I have some, not construction paper, and it's not poster board. Oh my goodness. I have some poster board and a piece of cardboard, 4 wood beads, and then I have some other little white beads. They used to be a placemat, and I took it apart and I just kept all the beads from it. I'll also be using my Hello Hobby black paint. So we're going to start out by piecing these pieces of poster board together because it wasn't as long as I needed it for this particular DIY. So we're just going to make it long enough. Now your pieces of poster board will depend on how wide and how tall you want your snowman to be. Yes, we are making a snowman um, candy container. We're going to call it a candy container. It's not a candy dish. So it's going to be a snowman candy container. So after I get my cardstock or poster board glued together, I'm going to go back with this car chamois and I'm just going to cover the poster board. You can cover the front and the back. I opted not to cover the back because I felt like it was a waste of the car chamois. The back part is going to actually be the inside of your candy container, and it doesn't really need to be covered because you're not going to see it. So now I'm taking my 5.5 by 5.5 cardboard round, and I am adding that nautical rope to it because we need to be able to adhere our snowman to something to make it round, to get your cylindrical shape. So we're just going to attach it to the nautical rope. The cardboard by itself would have been way too thin and it wouldn't really have enough to grip onto. So adding that nautical cord gives you something to adhere your poster board to. I did clip it at the top after I got it all formed into a circle or a cylinder. I clipped it and we're just going to let it sit while that hot glue sets up, and we're going to paint our white beads. Just attach them to some masking tape. It makes it easier to do to get them painted. And then we are going to move on to the next step. Just going to take that clip off and we're going to add the wood beads to the bottom. Of course, you can paint your wood beads white if you want. I love natural wood, so I decided to just leave them the way that they are. I just wanted this to have a little bit of lift to it. So now that that's done, we're going to take 2 of our pom-poms and I'm going to take that fabric, and all I did was just cut 2 circles out of my fabric, and I made the circles obviously bigger than the actual pom-pom that we're going to wrap. We're just going to wrap this pom-pom in this fabric to make for our snowman. You guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video today. To all my new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so blessed and happy to have you here. Thank you for choosing Dee's Cute and Crafty. And to my ride or dies that have been with me for a while, you know who you are. I love you so much. Thank you for always coming back. So I put my finger protectors on because, oh my goodness, this is a lot of gluing. And I'm not too worried about covering it completely in the back because you're not going to see it once you attach it. So I pulled out my little carrot. I went into my Easter stash and found these felt carrots that I got from Dollar Tree. We're just going to take that green piece off and we're going to use this for the carrot nose. It is perfect for this DIY. I'm just laying everything down, getting a feel for where I want everything to sit, and then I will go back and glue it down. So you guys, I use my bottle caps. I use the same bottle caps from my water bottle that I use to make the peppermint candy with for the snowman's eyes. I just painted them black, and I'll go back in with some white paint and add some little light to his eyes just by giving each one a white dot. So now we're gluing everything down. And I'm going to go back in and touch up the paint on the smile of the snowman because I see some areas that are white and I want it all painted black. So I just got a really small paintbrush and carefully went in and painted that. Here I am adding the light to the snowman's eyes, giving him a little bit of a twinkle. And now I'm going to take the birthday tiara because I want this silver piece. Be very careful when you do this because it has staples in it. That's how the paper part of it was attached. So make sure you get your staples out of there before you start pulling and stretching it because you don't want to end up with a staple in one of your fingers. Now that I've stretched it out and shaped it out the way that I want, I'm just going to attach it to the head of the snowman with some hot glue. Then I'm going to go back and attach my little peppermint earmuffs to my snowman. Now I'm going to take this old antique kind of looking peppermint ribbon. I'm going to cut down a piece to the width that I want it. And I'm just going to trim out the bottom of the snowman to give the illusion of a little scarf. I thought the peppermint ribbon went very well with the peppermint fabric in keeping with this DIY. I think it turned out super cute. But is it my favorite of the two that I'm going to bring you today? It is not. If you'd like to know which one is, you're going to have to keep watching. And as always, I'm going to need you to comment down below and let me know which one is your favorite. So now I'm going to make a little bow. You guys know how I do it. I take my ribbon or my fabric and I make my loops and I make my dovetails. I stack it all together and I tie it off with some jute cord. That's the simplest bow that I know how to make. So after fluffing out my bow, I'm just going to attach it to the side of the snowman. And then I'm going to add my greenery. And I took one of those foam berries and cut it in half so it would lay flat. And I attached that to the center of the bow. Isn't it cute? So here is finished DIY number one. And this is how I chose to style it. I had a black bowl that I picked up from Target. I don't even know how long ago. I've had it in my stash forever. And that bowl fit perfectly inside of the snowman's head. So I just set it down inside and I filled it with what else? Peppermint, of course. And this is so adorable. I love this. You guys, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. Moving on to DIY number two, I've got some jute cord, some messy moss, and some of the Dollar Tree metal ribbon, and I've already cut off a small piece of it and formed it into a little ring. I will be using these wood pieces I got from Hobby Lobby. They come in a long, like, I don't know, just a long piece of them, and it's connected by felt. So when you pull the felt off, then the little pieces of wood separate. I've got some tumbling tower blocks and some scrap pieces of wood. I've got one of the Dollar Tree cubes, more scrap pieces of wood, 3 wood beads. I have one of the stars from Dollar Tree, various colors of burlap, and one of the Dollar Tree wood gingerbread houses. And I've already taken the door and the window off and smoothed it out. We're going to be using the back side. I will also be using some wood glue and some Waverly Antique wax. So we're going to start out by changing up that roof line a little bit and adding these like log pieces or wood pieces to the top to give it a rustic old look. I'm using wood glue and hot glue to attach these. And I'm going to be adding a little piece of moss in between each piece of wood. We are making a nativity scene. I have been seeing so many people on YouTube this year, last year, and years past do Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in the tumbling tower blocks and beads. And I've never done that. So I've decided to try my hand at it. I have done a nativity scene, but it was hand painted. So this is the first time I'm doing the tumbling tower blocks and beads. And I absolutely love how this piece turned out. It is hands down my favorite of the two. So now I'm going to take two of my tumbling tower blocks and I'm going to glue them together because I wanted them to be a little thicker than they were. And this is the body of Mary and Joseph. So I need two glued together in this way. I'm also going to take that little wood block from Dollar Tree and I am going to add it to the bottom of one of my sets of two. And this one is Joseph because I felt like he needed to be taller than Mary. So that's why I did it. Now I'm going to take my little wood beads and attach them to the top of my blocks. This is very simple, but it is so pretty. Now I'm going to take my cream colored or white burlap and I am just going to wrap baby Jesus in that. Just going to swaddle him down in that white burlap. I felt like that was the best choice for him. I will be using the more of a brown kind of tan for Joseph, and I'll be using that lighter tan for Mary. So right now we're just going to wrap baby Jesus in this, and then I'm going to take some of that jute and just wrap around the fabric just a couple times just to give it some more color, neutral color, of course, and a little more interest, a little more texture. I love the simplicity and the rustic look of this piece. And I'm just going to add a tumbling tower block to the back to make it a standalone piece. So just going to get this tied. I'll add a dab of glue just to make sure it stays tied. Once I get it tied, I don't know why I shorted myself. One end of the jute cord is longer than the other, and that's just because I wrapped it weird. So now I have this little tiny piece to work with on one end. But I'll get it done. Adding my dab of glue, trimming off that extra jute, and then this will be done, and I'll start working on Mary and Joseph. So I'm going to take my um, tan burlap and I'm just going to make the headpiece for Joseph. This more of a brown color, I guess, more so than tan. Maybe a camel color. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to take this color and just make his headdress. Take some more of that jute cord and just tie it around the top of the bead. And then I will just hot glue the sides of that burlap down. Just trimming it up, making sure it's even on both sides. adding a little dab of hot glue. And I am going to go over all three pieces with a little bit of the Waverly Antique Wax, just a little bit. Now I'm going to take this lighter colored burlap and I am going to use it to make Mary's headdress and her gown, her robe. And I opted to use the piece that is frayed because I think it frames her face better. So I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the bead, bring it down on the sides, and then crisscross it in the front to make it look more like a robe or a gown. Now we're just going to trim it up a little bit. And here you see me just kind of laying the crown at the top of baby Jesus' head just to see how it looks. I'm going to take some of that messy moss because that's what I call it. It always makes a big mess. And I'm going to do kind of like a little crib cradle situation, just so he looks like he's laying in the hay. It's moss, but it'll do. Just shaping it a little bit more, and it's messy. Add a touch of hot glue to the back and glue it in place. And I'll trim it up a little bit so it doesn't look too wild. Just adding a dab of glue to the inside ring, and then I am going to attach it to the burlap at the top of baby Jesus. Taking two pieces of scrap, I'm just going to make the crisscross piece at the bottom of the manger, at the bottom of the cradle that baby Jesus is in. To make it look more authentic, I like to do that at the bottom with the cross pieces. Just two scrap pieces of wood, just crisscross them and hot glue them to the bottom. And I added, of course, some of the moss to the bottom. I felt like it needed a little something more. I'm going to trim that up, and then I will hot glue Mary and Joseph on either side of the cradle, and I will put a star at the top, and this will be done and ready to be displayed. Very simple to make and very beautiful. And there it is, all done and ready to be displayed. And here is finished DIY number 2. And here is the final reveal of both of the DIYs that I've made for you today. Again, if you're enjoying this content, thumbs it up, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps my channel get noticed a little bit more by YouTube, and they push me out a little bit more, and it helps my channel grow. I'm so grateful to you guys for that. Thank you so much. You guys, as always, I want you to be blessed, be safe, have a beautiful, blessed Christmas. And until I see you in my next one, craft something beautiful today, you guys. Bye.